Hi everyone. I'm going to continue on from last week. If you remember last week, we were looking at 2 Timothy 3:16, and in that verse, we learned the word theopneustos. Okay, that's the Greek word. And I want to continue on that theme, and we're going to be looking at Romans 8:11. And what I'm going to do today is, I've been looking up the Greek here, and instead of the King James Version, we're actually going to use, I'm going to look at the NASB for that. So let's grab my comparative study Bible. I'm going to show you why I'm going to do that in a second. Let's just read from Romans 8:11. It says in Romans 8:11, "But if the spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwell in you." Now that's from the King James Version, but if we look at the New American Standard Version, it reads, "But if the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead dwells in you, he who raised Christ Jesus from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies through his spirit who dwells in you." Now the reason I like this one a little bit better in the New American Standard compared to the King James, because quicken, it's good, it's a great word, but if you recall from last week, we talked about the word pneuma, okay, pneuma, and that's spelled P-N, its transliterated spelling is P-N-E-U-M-A, and again, that means God's power. Remember, God's life force is in this book, okay, so when you study this book, his life force comes out of you. Remember I did the example with the blow-up doll, and when you read this book, it all comes into you. So the word spirit, let's look at this again, Romans 8:11. "But if the spirit of him that raised up Jesus from the dead dwell in you, he that raised up Christ from the dead shall also quicken or give life to your mortal bodies." Now the word Paul used for spirit was that word pneuma, okay? So when we are saved, God's life force is in us. Okay, this is the cool part when you put these all together. So what Paul was saying is we have the exact same power that raised Christ from the dead inside of us. Okay? We have that power. As Christians, we have that power. Now, you see, we have that power of God inside of us. Now, for us to be able to unleash that power, we need to start studying his word, okay? We need to study his word. See, when we became born again, we had the same power that raised Christ dead, but we have never activated it, okay? And Jesus told us he came so that we may live our lives and live our lives more fully, or the word he used, a great way to describe it is abundantly. And many people get confused with that word abundance, living an abundant life or more abundantly, and they're talking about the future or when we're in heaven. But that's not the case, because Jesus was talking about the present, and I can go into the details of the Greek he was using, but the problem most Christians have is they confuse the word abundant. They think it means lots of money, and that's where they're wrong. You see, we as Christians, I talk about the 5 points. We need to have a great relationship with God, and that means studying his word. We need to have a relationship with our body. We should be fit, yet the majority of Christians in this country are either overweight or obese. That's a fact. Look it up. Okay, the majority of people in this country are obese. And our bodies are the only thing that God gives us 100% authority over. If we can't take care of this one body, how could he give us anything else? Why should he give us anything else? Now let's take it a little bit step further. We should also be in fantastic, wonderful, glorious marriages. Yet the majority of Christians, well, between 40 and 50% of Christian marriages end in divorce. We're supposed to be in thriving careers, yet we're not. Okay, our finances, we should be financially secure, but we're not. The majority of Christians are in debt, and we're not supposed to be. That's actually a sin. And we have the power inside of us and in this book to be physically fit, okay? to be healthy, to be in wonderful marriages, to be in thriving careers. And we want you to know how you can do this. As a matter of fact, we are putting together the most incredible Bible study ever. Okay? And if you have not done so, I want you to sign up below because it's starting soon. We are going to be offering the most incredible Bible study live online for 48 weeks. For 48 weeks, we're doing every other week. It's an amazing program. And it is the most affordable program we can do. We've actually grown out of what we've done. We've worked out a plan, and I'll tell you more about it. So just click on that link below to join this incredible Bible study. Then, for those of you who are in the Disciple Club who are looking to start a business online, I have a very important announcement to make. Click on the link below about the Disciple Club. We're going to be talking about some online businesses. My name is Pastor Bob. God bless you, and I'll talk to you next week.